Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from the Black Business School and the Black Wealth Bootcamp. Somebody forwarded me an article today about the rapper Lil Boosie. Now, you may know about Lil Boosie, you may not. Boosie is one of the most respected artists, in the hood. I know that my girls they like his music. I know a lot of other young people who are really cool with Boosie, who really think he's a talented artist, very influential, and he's had his ups and downs. But he's grown. He's evolved as a human being, and I respect him for his evolution. When he got out of prison, I remember when Boosie got out of prison, and I saw how many people were excited about kind of seeing him get out. I remember thinking to myself, man, this guy, he's like the Tupac of the South almost. Not quite. I mean, in terms of the respect, there were people that just really loved this guy, and so I listened to a lot of his music to try to really understand him as an artist, as a human being, and I liked what I heard in terms of the man he was trying to be. Have the advantage of getting the education that we want at an early age, so we kind of figure things out as we go along, and some of us figure things out sooner rather than later. So my hope, my dream is that Boosie's daughter will learn from him to avoid mistakes he might have made in his life. That she'll figure out those lessons a little earlier. And so there was a story that I saw today on Bossip.com. Bossip is run by my friend Jamarlin Martin, who's a brilliant black man who graduated from law school at Syracuse. I like this guy a lot, and and I saw the story that kind of floored me a little bit. Basically, according to TMZ, Boosie just had kidney surgery because he has a cancer in his kidney, and Boosie doesn't have any health insurance. And so as a result of not having any health insurance, this brother has to pay $90,000 to get this surgery done. Now, just for the record, we do live in one of the most ridiculously corrupt healthcare systems in the world. The United States, we spend more money per capita for every country on earth, but we actually have lower quality healthcare than nearly every country on earth, which is just weird. Not every country, but there are a lot of third world countries that actually have better healthcare than the United States, from what I understand from the last study I saw. Um, and so the system is already screwed up, right? A couple things you cannot do in America, you cannot afford to do anymore, are pay for a college education. What they do is they sink you deep into debt that you will probably never be able to repay. The average college graduate in America today actually is expected to die in debt. Before, you had a good chance of dying in debt. Now you are expected to die in debt, especially if you went to an expensive private school and didn't pick a high paying major like engineering or business or something like that. Okay, and even then, it's still risky. In fact, I just read a study by Goldman Sachs yesterday that was saying that that going to college is no longer a surefire investment anymore. There are a lot of people questioning whether or not the money you spend on college is really worth it. You may want to spend your money getting skill as opposed to just getting a degree. Now, that's one thing that most American people can't afford. The second thing that Americans just cannot afford to do anymore is get sick. The healthcare industry, the pharmaceutical industry, they have controlled our politicians, and basically they've increased the price of medication so high that in many cases, some people figure it's just cheaper to die. And That's unfortunate. It's crazy, but that's kind of where we are right now. And so, when you see this 90,000 that Boosie owes for the surgery, you already know that that's kind of crazy. It's a bogus amount of money. They could probably do this surgery for $5,000, right? But put that to the side. You do have health insurance. Health insurance is not that expensive, especially for a young guy like Boosie. From what I understand, he's in his 30s. Health insurance probably wouldn't have cost him more than 100, 150, 200, $250 a month, 300, depending on what kind of plan he got, right? But instead, he spent $90,000 on this surgery. Now, I would also like to know, if I was Boosie's financial advisor, I would ask him, brother, what you got in place in terms of life insurance? Have you written a will? What's going to happen to all this hard work you put in, all this money you've made when you're dead, when you're gone? What's going to happen? I mean, is your daughter going to be forced to start all over again? Is she going to grow up saying, well, my daddy didn't make any plans. My daddy planned his life as if he was going to live forever. Or is your daughter going to say, my daddy made arrangements for me? My daddy is a man because he took care of me both in life and in death. That's what a real man does. He takes care of his kids in life and in death. Now, I'm not talking about Boosie. I'm not picking on Boosie at all. I like Boosie, actually. In fact, when he got out of prison, and I wrote an article saying these are 3 things Boosie should rap about now that he's out of prison. And I mentioned, I think, poverty, violence, and mass incarceration because he knows those things pretty well. Shortly thereafter, I saw Boosie started following me on Twitter, and I don't think that's a coincidence. And then I heard him speak on something, and I saw him repeating some things that I had said before, which told me that that he was paying attention. So I don't judge a brother based on where he's at. I judge a brother based on where he's trying to go. Boosie is trying to grow, and I respect that immensely. And so, in the quest of this growth, and those of you who might look up to someone like that, or even if you don't look up to him, even if you're just looking at your own life, understand that health insurance is not that expensive, and everybody should be covered. You've got to be covered because if you're not, health insurance can wipe you out. A lack of health insurance can wipe you out. You work hard, you build all this wealth, you get sick one time, it will wipe you out because these hospitals, these pharmaceutical companies, etc., they will charge you insane amounts of money for even the most basic procedures. So you want to have health insurance, and you also want to have life insurance, and you want to do estate planning. Life insurance is another issue. You see these brothers on Twitter doing this Instagram flex and holding up all this cash like they got all this money. And I'm like, fool, you ain't rich. If you was really doing well, then you would at least have some insurance. It doesn't. Do you think you're going to live forever? And again, I don't mean to call people fools. I'm sorry. Sometimes it just makes me mad. That's just the father in me coming out. I guess I'm father age. I'm 44. So it drives me crazy because the amount of energy that you put into flexing on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and showing off stacks of cash or going to the strip club and throwing money into thongs of women that you'll never meet again, it would take 1/3 of that time for you to just call up your financial person or have your assistant call and just get you some life insurance and some health insurance. You can get you $200,000 or $300,000 worth of life insurance for almost nothing. A guy Boosie's age can get life insurance pretty cheap because of his age. Now maybe with the cancer thing and stuff like that, it might go up a little bit, but he could probably still get insured. You can get life insurance. If you don't have life insurance, you need to get it. If you don't have health insurance, you want to get it. And so again, I'm not in any way picking on Boosie because I told you I like Boosie. I really do. But at the end of the day, we've got to step up our financial literacy game because you can't sort of be really brilliant in all these other areas, whether it's spitting rhymes or showing out on social media and not show that same intelligence in all the things that you do, especially for the people that you love. I mean, seriously, how can a man really claim to love his children when he has not even provided for them? I mean, really, how can you really say that you love your kids when you're going to die and not leave them shit? I mean, what kind of man does that make you at the end of the day? Now, I'm not talking about Boosie because I don't even know what Boosie's life insurance situation is. I'm not talking about him in particular. But I wouldn't be surprised if other areas of his financial life were not put together because health insurance, man, that's very basic. That's simple. That's straightforward. That's something you just sign a piece of paper, pay a little money every month, have it come out of your checking account, and you're good. So I hope that these reports are wrong. I mean, I hope TMZ was making it up. I really do. I saw that when Boosie mentioned the cancer, he asked for people to put prayers up for him and stuff like that. Well, prayers are good, but you got to make decisions that are going to be beneficial to you. You can't pray your way to have insurance when you haven't taken the time to go pay for it. Prayer is not going to give your daughter an inheritance when you die and don't have proper life insurance or haven't done a will, haven't made sure that everything is laid out so that when you die, that everything you work for doesn't just disappear into the wind. So just think in terms of wealth accumulation. That's very, very important. Health insurance is a critical part of wealth accumulation because, again, you get sick one time with no insurance, That will wipe everything out. You got 100K in the bank, gone. Half a million in the bank, gone. Don't get a surgery or two. That money will be gone. And guess what? It'll be right back in the hands of your oppressor. The very same people who spent 400 years keeping wealth out of the hands of black people will get that money right back due to a lack of preparation and planning on the part of our people. Well, that's all I want to say, guys. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from the Black Wealth Bootcamp. If you want to learn more about financial literacy, you can join us at theblackwealthbootcamp.com. That's it. I'll talk to you guys soon. And Boosie, get well soon, brother. I hope long life because I really have a good feeling about you. I feel like you're going to evolve and grow and become a wiser man. And I really think that you're going to be able to reflect back on some of these things and be able to give good advice to people and maybe even reach some people that I might not be able to reach right away. So, and by the way, if anybody wants to know where I buy a lot of my insurance, there's a company I use called M Whitney Michael Whitney and Associates. It's at mwhitney.com, MWHITNEY.com. I should give a shout out to Michael Whitney and Associates. It's run by a sister named Yolanda Spivey, so I give her some of my business. So anyway, you guys take care, and I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from the Black Wealth Bootcamp, and I will talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye bye.